On the pandemic, as the number of new daily cases climbs to a record of nearly 67,000. With Florida now reporting its numbers, hospitalizations have topped 51,000 nationwide, showing the strain this latest increase is having on the hospitals across the country.
With cases surging in many states, White House coronavirus response coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx says the rise in COVID cases will lead to a rise in deaths. Some states and cities are now rethinking and pausing their reopenings. Bars in Las Vegas have been forced to close as 7 counties in Nevada roll back to phase 1 because of a rise in infections.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott announcing overnight that the U.S. Army is sending a medical task force to Houston to help with the city's COVID-19 battle. We have team coverage beginning with ABC's Trevor Ault right here in New York. Trevor, good morning.
Whit, good morning. We are in the midst of a frightening upswing right now. Out of 50 states in Puerto Rico, 40 are reporting elevated positivity rates, with FEMA saying new locations like Oklahoma, Iowa, and Arkansas are places to watch, while in major states that have been getting crushed, Florida, Texas, Arizona, officials say it is going from bad to worse.
This morning, alarming new numbers as COVID-19 rages across much of the United States. An internal FEMA memo obtained by ABC News says 26 Arizona ICUs are at capacity and 13 hospitals have staffing shortages as the state now battles the highest number of new cases in the entire world.
These patients are sicker than patients that we've seen, and they're sicker in a different way.
With residents waiting hours for tests in 100-degree heat, a new appointment-only testing site in Tucson says it booked its first week of tests in 10 minutes. While in neighboring California, these surge tents constructed in El Centro to take on the crush of patients.
We're having a war here on COVID.
And with morgues full, refrigerated trucks have been brought in to store the bodies. In Florida, the 11,400 new cases Friday, just shy of a record high. New York now sending the state a day's supply of the drug remdesivir to help care for patients. Among those hit hardest, a South Florida family losing a brother and sister, both in their early 20s, their deaths just 11 days apart.
It's not a game. Please wear your mask. We don't want them to just be another statistic.
And for younger people of color, new data from the CDC paints a grim picture. The death toll for Hispanics and non-whites under 65 is more than twice as high as it is for whites of the same age group. In Texas, the state's logged 3 straight days near 100 deaths.
The worst is yet to come as we work our way through that massive increase in people testing positive.
A San Antonio doctor says one of her patients, a 30-year-old man, died after attending a so-called COVID-19 party, a bizarre trend where young people intentionally get together with someone who's infected.
He didn't really believe. He thought the disease was a hoax. He thought he was young and he was invincible and wouldn't get affected. One of the things that was heart-wrenching that he said to his nurse was, I think I made a mistake.
Across the country this morning, 17 states are seeing increasing COVID-19 deaths, with 30 reporting rising hospitalizations. In Mississippi this week, 5 of the state's biggest hospitals reporting they had 0 ICU beds available.
Many days in the last few weeks, we have had more patients than we have had rooms.
Georgia setting a single-day record for new cases Friday. The Georgia World Congress Center now being reactivated as a backup hospital in Atlanta. And Kansas marking nearly 1,000 new cases Friday. Even rural doctors saying the virus is ravaging their communities.
We didn't think that it would get to us, but when it finally did get to us, it hit us like a freight train.
And as professional sports consider when and how to return, the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars say they're going to be limiting their stadium capacity to 25% and making face coverings mandatory. The NFL is planning on having preseason games begin to be played in late August, but the Players Union has been pushing back against those plans. Whit.
All right, Trevor, thank you.